ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned in to Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, October 17th. I'm Skylar.
And I'm Joshua. The 2016 presidential election between Democrats and Republicans is heating up, and last week was the first Democratic debate. Democrats got their chance to shine in Las Vegas, where former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders faced off against long-shot hopefuls like Jim Webb, Lincoln Chafee, and Martin O'Malley. See, President Barack Obama's second four-year term is up next year, so Americans vote for a new president on November 8th, 2016. Before the parties go head-to-head, their voters choose a single candidate in a process called the primary. Hillary Clinton is the Democratic frontrunner, especially since her main competition from 2008's election, Obama, won't be in the running. Before she was his Secretary of State, she was First Lady to President Bill Clinton from '93 to '01. If Clinton wins, she'd be the first female president right after America's first black president. On the opposite side, Senator Sanders is promoting a liberal political system called socialism, where government heavily regulates business and spreads wealth around more evenly. Sanders draws big crowds wherever he goes, but most political analysts said Clinton won the first debate with her more moderate views and sharp attacks.
The economy does better when you have a Democrat in the White House, and that's why we need to have a Democrat in the White House.
Western leaders like President Barack Obama and his European allies are clashing with Russian President Vladimir Putin over territorial conflicts in the Ukraine and Syria, where a new Cold War is brewing. For the past 2 years, Putin has been taking over neighboring Ukraine, where he swallowed up its Crimea region with political muscle and armed rebels to fight the pro-Europe government. He's also backing President Bashar al-Assad of Syria, who unleashed chemical weapons on his own people in 2013. Syria is now torn apart by a civil war between Western-backed rebels and al-Assad's regime, while Islamic State extremists take advantage of the unrest to seize power. This tragic conflict has resulted in hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees flooding European borders, causing a humanitarian crisis. So why is Putin wrestling with the West over Ukraine and Syria? Well, it's looking a lot like the Cold War from 1947 to 1991, when the pro-communist government of Soviet Russia competed with the pro-capitalist USA for global influence. Cold War bickering nearly led to global nuclear destruction during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where Soviet-allied Cuban dictator Fidel Castro harbored nukes a mere 110 miles from American soil. The Soviet Union then crumbled in '91, thanks to the efforts of presidents like John F. Kennedy, who beat the Russians in a high-tech space race to the moon.
We choose to go to the moon.
And Ronald Reagan, who helped bring down the Berlin Wall that split Germany into communist and non-communist halves. Putin served 16 years in the KGB, hardcore Soviet Union spies, before rising to power the past 2 decades. Now, he's starting Cold War drama again, even teaming up with countries like communist China. Putin also stirred up the pot during the recent 70th General Assembly of the United Nations when he started ordering Russian airstrikes in Syria. He claims these attacks are for Islamic State targets, but American officials disagree with his true intentions.